My phone is a comfort zone. I am so often in social situations because of poetry, and my phone is clandestine, a genjutsu, a do not disturb sign, a crutch, a line of defense against the zombie apocalypse, Walking Dead, dread of conversation, run, incoming small talk. Sometimes this barrier is broken. She said she liked my poem, introduces herself, my phone pocketed. We talk. I wonder what this means, this conversation. I ramble nervously, but she nods at my Chidori-style spitting of words, crackle of lightning as her eyes go wide. But she doesn't leave. She laughs at my stupid jokes. I think she likes me. How do I ask? Does she think she's made it obvious? She hasn't. See, if you're feeling me, not to flex, but folks, they like my poems, they like my friendship, but if you feeling me, you gotta bat signal me that shit. She's still laughing and I'm still rambling, wielding my self-deprecation like a blade, clumsily swinging at my insecurities, cutting through all the thick layers of sexual tension. How do I let her know before I sever a conversational artery? Wink, wink, wink. How do you emoji in person? I stop talking, she never starts. I have sliced soliloquy through the entire conversation. She is silent. I feel the lump in my throat, see the interest in her eyes flooded away by the irrelevant stories that overflowed from her brain to her cornea. She no longer sees me, just my poetry. And so she reiterates that I'm dope, a dope poet. And poet in this context is a separate thing than man she might be attracted to. She walks away. I watch the nine tails caged in the bone bars of my inadequacy. It roars loudly, angrily, and I am quiet for the first time in 20 minutes, and she is gone. I'm often told that I'm weird or loud or eccentric. On a first date, I was told that I'm too cute to be as weird as I am. Jonathan, why do you talk so much? Why do you breathe so much? Your automatic central nervous system keeps you alive. My automatic negative thoughts feel like they keep me alive. Silence does not feel like silence. Silence is ominous. Silence is gunpowder. Silence is trigger slowly pulled. Silence is, he came home with a 24-pack again, Mom. Eyes a bullet, dead stare chambered, pops off at the first breath you take loudly. So if I want you to stay, silence feels like leaving. Silence feels like death. Silence feels like I never learned healthy attachment. I never learned secure sense of self. I learned I am target, and I didn't speak much for a decade and a half. But this is not quiet. Those are two different things. I told my ex that I have borderline personality disorder. She told me that she understood. She's smart, so I thought she actually might have. The last fight that we had, she hadn't returned my text in a week. The few words she spoke to me in person reeked of freshly fired handgun. It broke me badly. My best friend is not a violent person, but this prompted a careful consideration of violence. My brain convinced that I was dying for 3 months. Her silence, my execution. I told her I was sorry that I'm so needy, and she said she's glad that I learned that lesson on my own. Fear of rejection is constantly pressed to my temple. Russian roulette, spin the chamber. Don't you love me? Spin the chamber. I'm good enough. Spin the chamber. I am good enough. Please respond. I'm sorry. I keep asking for validation. What the fuck is wrong with me? Echoes in my skull louder than a bullet. Then the bullet. The first time silence felt like skin that wasn't too loose to fit on my bones. Felt like I am human. My best friend and I, we are in her car riding back from her poetry feature. We haven't said anything in the longest time, and I am breathing. I am smiling. I am sure she loves me without having to ask. If I am quiet with you, it means that I trust you.